Hi everyone, and good morning from a town we have never been to before, Natural Bridge, Virginia. There's a lot of fun looking attractions in this town, so I'm excited to check things out.
Very different ones too.
Yeah, I go by the legend. That's my wonderful girlfriend Molly. In this video we're going to show you all the things to do here in Natural Bridge, Virginia. And it makes sense to start with the Natural Bridge itself, and that is located here in the state park. And it's pretty neat. Look at that. Definitely can see why it's famous. There is a pleasant little waterfall right near the start of the trail. Along the path you do get some wild looking trees. Now the state park to come visit the bridge is not free. It does cost $9 for adults to get in. At the park you do get to walk right underneath the natural bridge, which is pretty neat. In the park there is an exhibit area for one of the local Native American tribes that used to live here. The exhibit is closed during our visit. Now in the main area of the park where the natural bridge is, it's also a 1.1 mile trail from the parking lot, and it ends at a waterfall. See a nice stream, and this pathway leads us to a cave. And here is that cave. You cannot go into it. This is referred to as the Lost River. There are some rather pretty views in the park. A creek running alongside the trail. At the end of the 1.1 mile trail, you get here at what is known as the Lace Waterfall. We did get to the park pretty much right when it opened at 8 a.m., so it has been very peaceful in here. And the waterfall is very pleasant. Now, we did come to the park pretty early in the morning, but we found somebody else on the trail. Look at this small little turtle. Probably 4 or 5 inches. I think we might have spooked him. Looks like he's got some sort of snack in his mouth as well. But yep, just a cool little turtle. So I had a nice time at the state park. Was here for a little over an hour. Just want to give you a word of warning. If you're coming from that parking lot area to get to the real trail itself, it is 137 steps down, which means at the end it's now going to be 137 steps up. So you have people dealing with can't do steps very well. This is probably not something for them. Quite possibly the wildest attraction here in Natural Bridge is the Virginia Safari Park. Now this costs about $25 for adults to go through, and then $5 to buy a bucket of feed and to feed the animals as you go through a 180-acre safari.
Now we were smart. We bought 2 buckets of feed because we've seen the animals be very aggressive and steal the buckets, which they did. They spilled it all over our car.
It is a very messy attraction. Pellets get everywhere, animals slobber everywhere. Don't wear your fine clothes. Wear the nastiest clothes you have, really, if you're going to go through this thing. And get ready to clean your car at the end multiple times.
A lot of animals. We had deer, buffalo, llamas.
Yeah, water buffalo, Watusi cattle. Lots of baby animals, too, which is great to see. And these animals, unlike other zoos, they have a lot of room.
Yes.
If they don't want to be anywhere near the cars, they could go nowhere near the cars. This thing was 180 acres. A good time, but a messy one. Another one of the attractions here in town is the caverns at Natural Bridge. And it was very interesting. I've done a couple of cave tours and things like that. This one felt a little bit on a smaller scale, a little bit less corporate-y, a little bit more adventurous. Mm-hmm. There's you got to watch your head. There's puddles. There's slippery spots.
Wear good shoes.
Yeah, the cave tour host was very, very good. He's like, yep, turn on your flashlights, take all your pictures, take your videos, use your flash, whatever. If you want to go crawl down this dark tunnel, go, but not that far.
They turned off all the lights when we're the farthest down to show like what it actually looks like, and it was pitch black. You couldn't see anything. We
got to see a little baby cave salamander.
Yep.
And it was really cool. It was about an hour long. It does cost $20 a person. Now, we did buy a combo ticket that includes the zoo, the caverns, and Dinosaur Kingdom 2 for about $50 a person. But this was pretty neat, and it was also, it's pretty hot here today. It was a lovely 54 degrees down there.
It was wonderful.
Out of all the attractions in town, by far the most interesting and the most bizarre is Dinosaur Kingdom 2.
Odd and bizarre is the best way to describe it.
Now you might think, hey, at Dinosaur Park, it's probably gonna be like animatronics or statues. Not at all.
No.
In this, there's an attraction where dinosaurs fight Civil War soldiers. There's robots, there's shenanigans. It is so interesting, so odd. There's a maze. I got in a super soaker fight with Bigfoot, and I think Bigfoot won.
Yeah, no, he definitely won over you.
But this is quite the place. $17 to get in here, or it's on the combo ticket.
The next attraction we visited was the Natural Bridge Zoo, and this is kind of a smaller scale zoo, almost feels like a backyard kind of zoo that has grown a little bit, and they did have some big animals there. They did have giraffes and elephants and tigers, and some enclosures were pretty nice, some enclosures unfortunately were not so nice. You could tell the zoo definitely doesn't have the funding as one of your major city zoos. Also, it has weird stuff you could do, like you could pay some money and ride one of the elephants. You do get to feed a lot of the animals, which is nice. Love feeding the deer, and they all ran on over. They did have some animals I really enjoyed as well. They've got African crested porcupines, including one that was like an albino African crested porcupine. They got a couple of muntjacs. So I think I liked seeing these smaller animals, that they had some of the nicer enclosures. Some of the larger animals, I don't know how well I felt about seeing them in these kind of environments. But yeah, they're probably not going to be my favorite attraction in Natural Bridge. But if you've got a little bit of time left in your day, or you want to do that combo ticket, yeah, I might check it out.
Here in Loop, we do enjoy the occasional adult beverage. And the one brewery and winery, I guess it does both, that I really wanted to try in this town is the Great Valley Farm. I'm drinking a Belgian triple. Molly's got a glass of white wine, but I think the star of the show is look at this view overlooking the mountains. I'm gonna go and enjoy my Belgian triple while hanging out there on an Adirondack chair. Looking at that. That's awesome. There is a second brewery in town right by the Natural Bridge State Park. You'll find Chaos Mountain Brewing Station.
And there we go. That'll do it for our time in Natural Bridge, Virginia. I really enjoyed this day we spent there. A real little wacky kind of tourist town. Love seeing the Natural Bridge itself. That drive-through safari was a blast. And I have never done anything like Dinosaur Kingdom 2. Now, if you are planning a trip to go out there, there's a couple things to know. There's not too many hotels, and there's even less dining establishments. There's like 2 restaurants in the whole town, and I think one was closed the day of our visit, so we ended up eating like gas station pizza, as there's just not a lot of food in town at all. But it's a very different town, one I would recommend. If you got any questions about Natural Bridge, Virginia, let me know in the comment section below, and thank you very much for watching this video.